While a lot of people did not like, or I would dare say even hated, the previous entry into the Zillaverse, as I would like to call it, I thoroughly enjoyed Godzilla King of the Monsters. And unfortunately, I feel as if the roles have been switched for Godzilla vs. Kong. A lot of people love this movie, and I just don't think it hits home with me. Godzilla vs. Kong is directed by Adam Wingard and stars Alexander Skarsgård, Millie Bobby Brown, Rebecca Hall, Brian Tyree Henry, Isaac Gonzalez, Julian Dennison, Damian Bashir, Shun Urguri, and Kyle Chandler. Now, don't get me wrong, I still like this movie. There are moments of it that are genuinely fun and great. But what doesn't work in Godzilla vs. Kong really does not work for me. I still hate all of the human characters, and these plot lines just make me want to go back to the kaiju fighting. With that said, I still think this film is paced exceptionally well. It does not waste time with not getting to the Godzilla vs. Kong scenes or the Godzilla Kong scenes in general, and it really doesn't waste too much time getting to them fighting. There are brief moments of downtime where it either gets a tad bit boring or slow, but in a snap of a finger, we're back onto something much more interesting. It does feel as if the film is force feeding you information through exposition at the start of the film, but honestly, I'm fine with that because it solves the problem of focusing too much on these human characters that is present in previous entries into the Zillaverse. It gives the audience the bare bone essentials to know who these characters are, their motivations, and how they connect to each other without wasting a lot of the audience's time. As far as characters slash performances go, my biggest problem was Brian Tyree Henry. I liked him in the film as an actor. I think he does a good job, but I found his character a little graining and scattershot, to say the least. It's hard for me to really say anything about anyone because I don't give a shit about any of them and just wanted to get back to the kaiju fighting. And Wingard, I think, knew this. Like I said, he keeps the film moving along at a brisk pace that really works. And a lot of his direction shot-wise, I thought was great. During his fight scenes, I do have some problems with camera proximity to Kong or Godzilla, or how quick cut a lot of the action is, for kind of no reason. But man, some of the techniques he brings in are pretty cool. And there are a few times where it's framed as if there's a camera on the arm or tail of Godzilla or Kong that brings in a different view and angle to these fights that they don't normally have. And throughout the film, the camera is inverted, distorting the audience almost as if you were in the battle yourself. And to give the animators credit, the CGI looks very good, considering these fights are actually done during the day in some of them, and the CGI still looks great. It's just cut up a ton to the point where the fighting isn't the most enjoyable thing in the world. I liked Godzilla vs. Kong. Don't get me wrong. The more that I think about it, the more that I write this review, the more that I liked it, and the things they explored within it. But for me, I still think Godzilla King of the Monsters is a better movie. I think it has better moments, better usage of score, and a better story, considering I hate all of the human characters in all four of the Zillaverse movies. As of right now, I'm going to place Godzilla vs. Kong at a 63 out of 100. But that grade could easily raise or lower with a second viewing.